Foreign accent syndrome speaks to its name. At first glance or first conversation, it sounds as if the speaker has a foreign accent. While no research is currently being done on foreign accent syndrome, Heller and Butler believe any new research may lead to advances in fields such as autism. This is Matthew Jordan from Newport, Oregon, reporting for Oregon News. Arcimoto plans to release a pilot fleet of 11 SRKs before starting production. 4 have been sold already, one to Nathan Fillion, another to the former UO president Dave Frohnmeyer. This is Matthew Jordan reporting for Oregon News. The deadline for a decision on the Civic Stadium property came last night, and the Eugene School District, in a shocking reversal, rejected all 3 proposals. The school district struck out ideas from the Save Civic Group, YMCA, and Fred Meyers, opening up what may be a whole new ballgame for the fate of this historic stadium. Heavy rainfall has caused the Willamette River to swell to heights just under flooding, closing down bike and walking paths, and even forcing the U.S. Navy to relocate part of its fleet for the Rose Festival in Portland. While the spring rains have stuck around for a month longer than expected, climatologists say summer is just around the corner. Foreign accent syndrome speaks to its name. At first glance or first conversation, it sounds as if the speaker has a foreign accent. 2 years ago, Karen Butler of Newport, Oregon woke up from dental surgery with an odd accent that hints of being European.
Other people tell me, you have an interesting accent. And when I saw myself on television for the first time, it was a real eye-opener. I really had no idea how strangely it would have sounded to my family. But after a year and a half, of course, that's just me.
Butler, born and raised in Oregon, has never been overseas. Nancy Haller is a medical practitioner in Washington who also has foreign accent syndrome.
Well, if all the foreign accent people went to the U.S., and we all spoke one at a time, not one country would claim.
Karen McLaughlin specializes in the anatomy and physiology of speech and language at the University of Oregon.
Before you can ever say anything, you have to develop a plan in your mind for how to do that, and that plan then is disrupted. And we hear a lot of distortions, changes in how things sound, changes in the vowels that can sound a little bit like an accent.
Disruptions to the brain's speech center are often caused by trauma, stroke, or the effects of anesthesia during surgery. Butler is unique in that she doesn't seem to fit any of those categories and continues to live her normal life.
There was no spikes in blood pressure or anything that would indicate that I'd had a stroke or anything under the anesthesia. And I've not had a brain injury. So that leaves us with the wondering of what exactly transpired.
While no research is currently being done on foreign accent syndrome, Heller and Butler believe any new research may lead to advances in fields such as autism. This is Matthew Jordan from Newport, Oregon, reporting for Oregon News. The fate of historic Civic Stadium remains in question, and now the city of Eugene wants in on the discussion. The Eugene School District, who owns the property, used a point system to determine the best proposal of the 3 from Fred Meyer, the YMCA, and the Save Civic Group, with Fred Meyer scoring the highest and Save Civic coming in last. The scoring is based on 4 categories, including revenue and benefit to the city and school district. Save Civic earned a boost in points for preserving the stadium, but suffered in the revenue category due to a lack of funding. After a request by City Councilor Alan Zelenka, the Eugene School District agreed to postpone a final choice on leasing or selling the property until June 1st. This gives the city of Eugene an opportunity to partner with the Save Civic Group to preserve the stadium. Zelenka addressed the city's new role in an interview with Oregon News.
The big drawback from the city's perspective is, they don't want to be obligated for a whole bunch of money on the line without any prospect of getting any revenue for it. But if done right, this thing could create its own revenue that could pay the lease payment to 4J without having the city cough up any money.
The city's support would help the Save Civic Group in the revenue category, which accounts for 50% of the overall points. However, a majority of the city council needs to be in favor for the partnership to go through. In response, the YMCA and Fred Meyer are now trying to gain support from the Eugene community.
So yeah, we don't anticipate doing any change. We feel comfortable with what we did, and both from what we would provide for the community and also for the financial return that would go to the school district, which would be substantial.
A meeting last Friday between the three groups and city councilors yielded no results. As the deadline approaches, the school district will be forced to choose a proposal or risk developers abandoning their plans. The recession is putting a strain on nonprofits at a time when donations are needed the most. United Way of Lane County is an umbrella charity that partners and supports 44 charities in Lane County. As a result of the recession, United Way scored poorly on Charity Navigator, a national system of ranking nonprofits. United Way adopted a new, more direct strategy in response.
What we realized is the sandbag solutions that we had been implementing, which is a little money to this agency, a little money to that agency, wasn't really changing the source of the problem.
Charity Navigator ranks nonprofits based on the IRS 990 tax form and doesn't take into account performance or contributions by nonprofits to the community. Food for Lane County is another nonprofit that partners with United Way and has seen increased financial pressure in the past few years. But the pressure has been lifted in large part by support from the residents of Eugene and Springfield.
Not just Food for Lane County, but I think every nonprofit that I'm friendly with. I think every executive director would tell you how lucky we feel to have people who care about building community.
Through the toughest times, the Lane County community and United Way have supported nonprofits such as Birth to Three, which provides support services for new parents.
We also think that parenting is the most important thing we'll ever do in our lives, and nobody can do it all by themselves. So Birth to Three is here to help get information and support and skills so that parents can do a great job with their kids.
Stress brought on by the economy takes a toll on healthy families. Birth to Three services give parents a place to go for education, advice, in the company of other parents going through similar circumstances. Facing a recession, a finance-specific rating system, and a battle for relevance, all three charities agreed that the support of the community is their greatest tool in helping those just trying to make ends meet. This is Matthew Jordan for Oregon News. Gas prices in Oregon are inching towards $4 a gallon, putting the strain on those who commute. In 2007, local entrepreneur Mark Frohnmeyer was inspired to find a solution to the gas problem. 4 years later, Frohnmeyer and his electric car company Arcimoto unveiled their newest prototype, the Arcimoto SRK, a fully electric and street-legal vehicle with a top speed of 65 miles per hour.
Red 5, our first product prototype, is now complete.
Over 300 attended the event the day after Earth Day that drew the likes of primetime television stars Nathan Fillion and John Huertas, who discovered Arcimoto online, and Mayor Kitty Piercy.
I think the economics of gasoline are starting to get people thinking about what else can I be doing. And when they start using other things, i.e. electricity, I think they're going to start saying, you know what, why didn't I do this before?
Since the vehicles are completely electric, businesses and individuals get a tax break incentive when conventional vehicles pay a gas tax. But a new bill that goes into effect in 2014 may put a tax on electric vehicle owners as well. Frohnmeyer agrees everyone is responsible to help maintain Oregon's roads, but he argues the standards shouldn't be the same.
And if you think about it, the idea that someone driving a vehicle like this that weighs about half the weight of a conventional passenger car and someone driving a hybrid plug-in Escalade should pay the same per mile fee, I think is a bit regressive.
Frohnmeyer says the reaction to the new Arcimoto models has been positive, and the team at Arcimoto has begun working on the next prototype and 3 variations of the SRK model. Arcimoto plans to release a pilot fleet of 11 SRKs before starting production. 4 have been sold already, one to Nathan Fillion, another to the former UO president Dave Frohnmeyer. This is Matthew Jordan reporting for Oregon News. It happened again. An air traffic controller fell asleep on the job. In light of this latest episode of air traffic controllers falling asleep at work, the head of the U.S. air traffic system has resigned. The Federal Aviation Administration chief has now required double staffing at more than 24 airports. Air traffic controllers say the combination of long, late-night hours and being alone in the dark contributes to falling asleep at work. The FAA has received numerous warnings about the issues, but no action has been taken until this week. On a national level, Planned Parenthood's funding has been targeted, especially by Republicans in the House of Representatives. Nationally, the organization currently receives $80 million annually from the government through Title X, a program that provides grants to women's health centers. Here in Oregon, the proposed changes would have a significant effect on Planned Parenthood of Southwestern Oregon. April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. Here in Oregon, the Department of Human Services is using the month as an opportunity to highlight ways to prevent and report child abuse. Sarah Brody has more. The Department of Human Services says that every individual has an important role to play in reporting child abuse. If you expect that a child is in danger, call 911 or the Department of Human Services. Saturday Market's 42nd year is in full swing. Reporter Amber Wilmarth talked to several vendors who had a close-up view of the market's history. The market will be open every Saturday from April to mid-November, rain or shine.